I would like to start with this quote from Buddha. Our own worst enemy cannot harm us as much as our unwise thoughts. No one can help us as much as our own compassionate thoughts. And I'd like you all to dwell and think about that. Look at all the thoughts that we have each and every day. Thoughts of joy, thoughts of happiness, thoughts of anxiety, thoughts of frustration, thoughts of unhappiness, thoughts of regret, thoughts of anger, and on. There's all these thoughts that go on in our thoughts and our minds. And what we have to understand, and you've heard me say this before, but it seems many people forget this, is 94% of our thinking comes from our subconscious mind. 6% comes from our conscious mind. Whatever you're thinking, you're drawing into your life. Now, some of you know that I'm called a certified hypnotherapist. And my card says, what the mind can conceive, the body will believe. So what have we created in our body? What kind of frustrations have we created in our body? Do we look at ourselves and say, we're not thin enough, or we're too fat, I'm not pretty enough, my hair's not the right color, I'm losing hair, I'm angry, I'm upset, I don't deserve this, things aren't going right, I'm stuck. Think of all these thoughts that you have that are negative, and then think about, what in the dickens am I creating? Oh my goodness. But that's what you're doing. Your mind does not stop thinking, does not stop moving 24/7. It goes and goes and goes and goes. The challenge in our life is realizing thoughts are things. Your thoughts, no matter what they may be, will manifest in your life. And that you are so powerful, so unlimited, that you create chaos in your life, sickness and illness, prosperity and abundance, love and joy and happiness. So, what's the difference? And that old cliche, gratitude is this great attitude, or the best attitude is gratitude. And everything we do in our life, if you look at it as it is a gift to grow, a gift to learn, and a gift to understand that we can create any kind of life we so desire. Not only can we create it, we can change it, we can enhance it, we can block it, we can do whatever we want to do. That's how powerful we are. Many people I meet, well, they don't have enough money, they're unhappy with their jobs, they're looking at someone else, they're more successful, they're jealous. Everything comes with a price. And in my book, I talk about there's a payoff. So everything, there's a payoff. If you reduce your weight, notice I use the word reduce the weight, not lose, because anything you lose, you want to come back. So you reduce weight and you feel better and more healthy, there's the payoff. If you put on weight and you're sedentary, you become slow, you wear out your joints, muscles, whatever, and you need operations. Everything, there's a payoff. So what I'd like you all to consider is, how do I create a positive payoff in my life? How do I create this? Now, the word payoff is a little misnomer. It means whatever you're creating or doing in your life is going to happen in your life. And what do you choose to do? You know, one of the things I would say to all of you is try not to listen to the news. You know, in the morning I turn on the news primarily for traffic, although I have an app on my phone for traffic. You know, there was an accident, backed up for 5 miles, 3 miles, this and that. I go, I don't want to think about it. And what I usually do, not all the time, and then I kick myself when I don't, is I talk to the truth tellers and I say, what's the best way for me to go to work or visit this person? And when I listen, it's smooth sailing. When I don't, and said, no, I'm going to do this, I get stuck in traffic. And I have to constantly remind myself, listen to true inner source guidance. And the way this kind of works is the thoughts will just come to you. Put the thought out, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, it'll come to you. But realizing that your thoughts are things, realizing that you're in control of your life. You know, your husband, your wife, your mother's, father's, sisters, brothers, nobody's in control of your life. You are. It's all up to you. Even if you came in with a karmic experience to have a devastating illness, once you understand it, whatever the purpose of it was or is, or the payoff, it can be healed immediately and you'll be back. I just read a story about a young boy who was in a coma for 5 or 10 days, and they thought he was going to die, and they couldn't awaken him, so his parents decided to give his organs to, pardon me for floating, give his organs to other people, and they could survive. And then the next morning they did a little test, and his brain was dead, and all of a sudden he woke up and started speaking fluently. What really happened? What he did was birth out of his body, and they'll find out later, and then a new soul came into his body. And that's a wonderful experience because I've met several people who have done that. And what it is whenever your mission and goal is done on this planet, or you say it's too difficult, I want to leave and do it all over again, then what happens is there's another soul that comes into the body, has to complete part of your mission, and they go through their mission and goal. They don't have time to be a baby and grow through the years. This child was 12 or 14, I believe. Don't quote me on that. And the new soul, it's called a walk-in. Walked in, and is going to complete a little of the work of the old soul that left it, but it's going to do its mission and goal. It kind of sounds preposterous, but if we understand that that boy asked permission for him to leave his body and to do his mission and goal in another time, and the true source created resources, which is the celestial beings, were petitioned by another soul and said, look, I got an important mission. I don't want to have to go through age 0 through 14. I got to get it done more quickly. And that soul went into that body. But it's pretty amazing because it was brain dead for 4 or 5 days. So there's many things we don't understand, but I'm giving you an explanation. And by the way, have I met walk-ins? Yeah, quite a few. At least 5 or 6. I remember one of the times one of my students said her brother was fishing in Alaska and was hit by a crane, and she called me, can you send him healing? Yes, I said I would. But I said he petitioned to leave his body, and a new soul is walking in. She goes, yeah. Well, came out of the coma. He was fine, and he started talking about being on this planet that was all green, and it had 2 moons and 1 sun, and that he had talked about these vehicles that were like rode above the ground. And they all thought he was nuts. He was delirious rather. And then she called me and said, I got the message. Yeah, he looks like my brother, sounds a little like him, but I realize he's a walk-in. So these things do occur. But most importantly, because I want to wind this down a little bit for all of you, is consider your thoughts. Consider what you're thinking. Consider your life. And the key is to have more of whatever you enjoy is to give thanks for it. You chose to be in this embodiment. Nobody forced you there. Maybe coerced you a little bit, but the final choice was still yours. And you came to experience life. How can you feel the warmth of the sun without a body? How can you feel a breeze caressing you? How can you smell a flower? How can you taste the food? How can you see the wonderful, beautiful process of birth? How can you feel love and the touch of someone? Without your body, you could never experience this. So give thanks that you're here. Show your appreciation. And what happens is, thoughts are things, and when you give thanks, your life will turn around slowly, but will turn around to be more positive. So I leave you with this thought. And I leave you with the thought is give thanks for everything in your life, for every experience, for every growth, for everyone who's ever touched you, for anyone that ever has believed in you. Because I've got to tell you, most of all, the one that really believed in you, of which you are an aspect, is God, the true source. Everyone, if you want to listen to this, dial 515-739-1309. That's 515-739-1309. I'm going to do it one more time. 515-739-1309. And that would be any recording from number 7 to number 19. And the code is the same as this call, 125-446-POUND. 125-446-POUND. Everyone, for the mothers, I wish you a happy Mother's Day. And without our mothers, remember, we wouldn't be here. And I know a father plays a part, but more importantly, the mother. And I would ask all of you to invite more and more people on, because the vibrations are changing. Their energies are changing. And we have to change the mass consciousness on this planet. And you are all part of the great gathering that's going to achieve it.